Hello, today I'd like to talk to you about Mexico. Today I'm going to ask my friend Ben some Mexico questions. Hi Ben, thank you for talking to me today.
Pleasure. Anytime.
What are some traditional dances of Mexico?
Well, Mexico has many different traditional folklore dances, but I guess the most popular one over the country will go with the mariachi. The mariachi is the most popular and recognized dances of the country. However, mariachis are more like musicians rather than dancers. And they come from one specific place of Mexico. It's a very long name called Guadalajara, but it's on the Pacific side. It started in there and it just expanded all over the country. Yes, I would say that would be the most traditional one.
When did you arrive in Australia?
I arrived in Australia 2 years ago on February 8th, 2 years ago. So I've been in Australia a little bit over 2 years.
What is the weather like in Mexico?
The weather in Mexico changes a lot. On the north part of Mexico, it's very desert, very dry heat, and it can be very cold. In the center where I'm from, close to the capital, which is Mexico City, it's very similar like this. It gets cold. There's no snow anywhere in the country but in the mountains a little bit. But the weather in the central part, like I said, where I'm from, it rains in winter, and it's just a little bit warm, but not as, it's a dry, different heat than here. It's not as humid. And then in the south is a very humid heat, but it's much hotter than here. Very similar to Queensland, very similar. And so those are, it depends what part of the country you are. That's how the weather will look like.
How long were you in Mexico for?
I was in Mexico all my life. I was born and raised in Mexico, and now I'm here.
How long does it take to get to Mexico from Australia?
Well, there are no direct flights from Australia to Mexico, so the best option, the most economical and faster, will be going through United States. So you will take a flight to LA, which is between 12 and 13 hours, and then there you will take a flight to Mexico City, which is around 4 to 5 hours depending, plus delay of time. So at the end you will be close to 20 hours, to arrive to Mexico.
What are some traditional foods of Mexico?
Also, the food changes a lot from different parts of the country. The north part of Mexico, it's all about steaks and cuts, ribeye. In the center, a lot of people eat lamb, like in Australia, but not as much. In the south, it's all about, in the Caribbean, which is the south of Mexico, it's all about seafood. So it depends also on the country. On the area of the country.
How has Mexico got anything similar to Australia?
I would say in the central part, that similarity would be that people like a lot lamb. I personally don't like lamb a lot, but a lot of people like it, and it's very popular in the central part of Mexico. And I can see in Australia it's a very popular dish as well.
Thank you, Ben, for your time today.
Anytime.